Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a couple of couch potatoes in love that love reacting to some Castlevania.
Oh, yeah.
So this is season 3, episode 4. You can get early free access by going to Patreon. We're a month ahead on our reactions there. We're actually a little bit more than a month ahead. Depends if you want our YouTube edits or if you want our full watch-along reactions. And we also have a playlist down below in the description of this video for all of our Castlevania reactions.
Yes, we do.
All right, ready to do this?
I'm so ready.
Don't look at those. Sumi. Taka.
How long have you been
I
here?
thought he said like Sumi, like, hey, we're drinking Sumi.
That's what I thought too.
Possibly a couple of months.
Not her name.
So, you've seen the parlor's condition of my new home?
It wasn't what we expected.
It must have been a legendary battle.
Yeah?
What exactly happened to the mechanism that moves the castle?
She melted it.
The puppet?
Never mind. So you were part of the court of this vampire you called Cho.
We were given to Cho's hidden court as children. It amused her to have a human honor, not that she needed guarding. Sometimes, it was her pleasure to have us allow a hunter to pass through her ranks.
Some new horror. Some new punishment.
Sorry, that was the head. Not just the helmet.
Every day was slavery. Every day was death.
It'll soon be the head.
Cho was ancient and arrogant. She had lived forever where no army could reach her. No superior power could end her. We just watched.
We spent years studying how she lived, studying how she fought. We learned from her every victory, memorized her every weakness.
How's this guy still standing?
Seriously.
Our lives became nothing.
Oh, he's just hanging out by like the tendons. This guy's still getting up.
Strong guy.
Oh.
And then she left. Summoned to Dracula's war court.
Nice.
We killed all her guards and freed the people of the hidden court within days. But Cho was always going to come back, so we left to hunt her.
Because if she returns to the court, it will begin all over again. If she's truly dead, then other vampires will eventually take her court over.
You need instruction. Perhaps 1 or 2 new weapons?
That'd be nice. Yeah, sold.
So, what do we think? It's always the same. Carmilla always has a scheme. No, it's never, gather round, girls, I have a dream to tell you about. It's arms waving in the air and vampires and sisters, I have a scheme.
It's because of Carmilla that we got to fall in love in a fairy tale castle. It's been amazing. She still has nightmares about the years before she killed the vampire who turned her. She doesn't forget, Striga. She just looks ahead.
But taking and controlling an 800-mile corridor of land,
It's big.
big scheme. What she does, she pulls this stuff out of the air and expects the 3 of us to make it happen.
But can it be done? Military?
In theory, I need more intelligence from the territory.
But in theory, you said it'd be hard to police. I mean, would we have to throw a stockade around the corridor or...
Oh,
Sounds like you got it down.
maybe. Possibly. But it would be hard.
Anything worth doing is hard. And just think, if we did this, you would be commanding the army of an empire.
This is how she does it.
Yeah.
And inspires us to make her madness work.
Yep.
Yes, it is. But imagine.
Vampires and sisters.
And lovers.
She's a good saleswoman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, facts.
They may be crazy, but they're careful.
Don't look creepy at all.
Time to play the game. Be masterly, young man. Friar Sala, I thank you again for this opportunity and this insight into your fascinating new philosophy.
Don't be sorry. Just be better.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Lovely place.
Upside down cross, okay.
Blood on the walls. Awesome.
And nice bucket.
Suffices. This is part of the library. You can start here.
Very original shelving method.
In the grand scheme of things, they no longer seemed necessary. But you persuaded me that there may yet be something worth in them. So, have at it.
Might I point out that your wall hanging is crooked?
I got knocked askew when our visitor arrived. It's not something we give too much thought to. He may even be pointing in the right direction now. Why do we call them night creatures?
Well, because it's a simple translation of a very long Prussian word.
But
Yes, but why creatures?
the very name Lucifer means light bringer.
Have you stopped believing in God, Prior?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Created everything. God created hell. If God is perfect, then causing Lucifer to go to hell is his plan. Don't you see how it all begins to make a terrible sense?
No.
It is indeed fascinating. Tell me,
There you go, yeah. Tell me more.
arrive at that symbol to identify yourselves. Indeed.
You are a wise man, Saint-Germain. You will be brought bread and wine shortly.
And I'm sure he's gonna have such an appetite being next to like your slop bucket.
Right.
Restrict yourself to this hall for the moment.
Should we open a window? Because, you know, the slop bucket.
Well, they got that big hole in the ceiling.
Hopefully that helps.
Salty belly. We're probably hungover.
Gathering information, understanding the territory. I'm a drifter, Cypher. I can't roll up in a cute little wagon in my quaint speaker robes and get alms from the locals.
Doesn't look like a talker.
Hello.
Move away.
Gladly. I just have a few questions for you.
Nobody comes near our home. Move.
Calm down.
We are visitors to your lovely town.
Let me handle this.
And my idiot servant here and I couldn't help but notice your pretty priory. I hadn't gotten a close look at that before.
Enough.
She knows what it means.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyone who gets in the way of the work.
Do you know what the
What work is that?
What's the work? What are you doing in there?
No more. Everyone here knows not to approach the Priory. Everyone here knows not to ask questions.
Just one more thing. Speakers tend to be natural prey in towns because we don't carry weapons. So we all learn how to spot when someone's concealing a knife. Don't you think monks wearing a magic sign for hell and hiding blades in their robes is a little obvious? I see you.
Ah, they're gonna throw it down.
So did I.
Knives. This is grey shit all over again.
Are you sure you didn't overplay it? I mean, you do have a habit of...
But quietly competent people are competent and careful. Nervous people make mistakes.
Good call. Smart.
Yep.
If I thought just rolling up to the front door and annoying some mad monks would do the trick.
And she's back. Are you waiting? Ready to cooperate.
I have one question.
Oh, for God's sake. I'm only alive because Carmilla wants a Forge Master, aren't I? Stop pretending that this is anything other than what it is.
I'll answer your question. Yes, Carmilla is keeping you around because she'd like a Forge Master. It's not poisoned. Let's talk about what you would like.
Shoes.
Fair. Did the apple buy me another question?
Why not?
What was Dracula going to give you?
I don't understand the question.
You were helping build an army for Dracula. You were advising him. He was going to kill all the humans.
I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
That is exactly our plan. So he lied to you.
He withheld.
Exactly. Live mission.
What was he going to give you for doing this work that he lied to you about? What was your reward for serving a man who lied about his intents?
I assumed I would live outside whatever enclosures were placed around the remaining humans.
You assumed?
I'm not sure there was ever a conversation as such.
So, what do you want?
I wasn't necessarily looking for a reward.
Exactly. See, that's what's important.
Expected something. Even if that was only to be spared from the slaughter. Or to be kept in a cage. Mercy kills, and, if you'll forgive the term, humane feeding. This is the same plan that Dracula presented to you. We're not lying. And we don't...
But you are liars.
You're bribing me, you mean?
Oh, for God's sake, we're paying you. Nobody here holds a grudge, Hector. I'm not saying Carmilla pushed you here on a wagon filled with featherdown. She was pissed off, yes. But if she'd left you in Brayla, do you think you'd be alive today?
I might still have my shoes.
So, you would have died with your boots on.
A noble death.
Dracula would have protected me. I know he would.
Oh, I'm sure. Even though he decided to kill every human being on Earth because they murdered his wife, I'm sure you would have been the only survivor of the human race. Makes perfect sense.
But you get first then.
She's so damn good, though.
You understand that when I forge a night creature, they are...
Well, maybe we'll talk about that another time. Until then, I'll get you some shoes.
And what do I have to give you in return?
Talk to me some more.
About?
Whatever you like.
Please.
Look at you, beaten down a dozen different ways, and you don't give up on yourself. I can't promise a nice pair.
As long as they don't have holes in them.
Oh, so now you're a fucking aristocrat.
It's a good scene.
Yep. Can see why she's a diplomat.
Isaac's army. Remember his words of wisdom.
I'm gonna be sad if this is the last we see of the pirate.
Well, if it's the last we'll see of him, but don't think he's gonna be around for a while.
You have nothing to fear from me. We're just leaving.
No. No. You will not enter Genoa. Get back on your ship with your monstrosities and leave.
I'm be sorry you said that.
It has a shrewd captain. It took his wit to show me that I'd stopped praying. I stopped praying and devoting myself, and I hadn't even noticed. What a monster I have become. You don't want me to be a monster right here in your nice port.
He tried.
I cannot believe this is happening again. It's absurd. I just can't. Why do I keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result? Isn't that the definition of insanity? Am I mad? You know, one day the last one of you will ask me, why did you work with Dracula himself to murder all the people?
Okay. Get some manners. Oh!
I feel like this is gonna be over real quick.
Yeah. They're not even like fighting back. That's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Just instant night creatures. They're all the same kind of.
They're all guards from the same place.
Maybe.
And the rest of his menagerie he's collected from different places.
Could be.
Very interesting to get the backstory of, oh God, I'm terrible. I've already messed up their names, but of our Japanese brother and sister.
Sumi and Taka?
Yes, thank you. Just to kind of see what they went through and what they overcame and all was it was cool because it was a different kind of vampire and it was a different kind of oppression that the vampire was putting on the people. And we've heard various vampire plans at this point: wipe out all the humans, corral them to feast on. But the sort of psychological torture of round up a village and make them watch me as I battle and ultimately destroy their warriors when I'm bored, like not even on a festive occasion. It's just I'm bored, so let one of them through so I can destroy him. We're learning more, I guess, about the vampire culture of Castlevania, and this was a new version.
So in the beginning of this season, you had kind of talked about the sisters, vampire sisters, and like, thinking that they were genuine. And I think that you probably were, more on point than I was. Like, I thought that they were all conniving and backstabbing and like, they didn't really like Carmilla. But it seems like, while they think that she has these, grandiose ideas and like doesn't really have any follow through or whatever, and it's kind of like up to them to follow through. Like, I feel like they do. Because the one, oh God, I forgot I don't know their names, but there was like the bigger one, and there was
the military
one with, like,
general.
Yeah, it was the military general, and there was one with like the 2 earrings or whatever. She, the one with 2 earrings, on her ears, on each ear, so it's 4 earrings total. She was talking about Carmilla's backstory, like in like how she still remembers all the pain and suffering that she felt like under the person that like turned her, and I like that she's like, yeah, but she's still able to like look forward and see the future and whatnot. It did seem like they have some sort of, at least some kind of feelings for Carmilla. Like, it isn't that they just all like hate her or anything. So there is some, I don't know if I call it respect or even love.
The impression I got is that they are exactly what they say they are. They're truly sisters. Like, what it sounded like to me was family. And, they're not blood sisters that I'm aware of. So, like, they actually probably are sisters by choice rather than by blood. But the way that they spoke kind of made me think of your family by blood. And, like, we all have a crazy relative. We all have the relative that is very difficult to be in the same room with. Like we all have those people in our family that, would we choose them? No, we wouldn't. But they are our family. And so we can critique them or rip on them or whatever, but that doesn't mean that anyone outside the family can. That just means like, this is our crazy. This is like our crazy Uncle Al, and like no one can call him crazy outside the family, but in the family, he's definitely crazy Uncle Al, and we all have our stories about him. Like, it's to me, it just felt like that thing with Camilla. Like, oh, Camilla, like, she always has these big ideas, but by God, she ropes us in, and like, it wasn't like they loved that aspect of her personality, but there was enough love there that they accepted it.
Yeah.
And we don't always accept the parts of other people that we don't like in the world of like our relationships by choice. It's usually like, I be like 90% of this person, 10% I just tolerate, but like the way they were talking.
Yeah, but the 10% of me is amazing. That's it. It's enough to get her to love me.
But I mean, the way they were talking was like, Camilla's like 30% we like her, and 70% she has these great grand ideas that get us into trouble, but like, God, if those aren't fun and make great stories, so like, we accept it. That was just kind of how it struck me. And on the subject of the sisters, the youngest one, whose name I cannot remember, and I don't even know if she's the youngest. She's just the little Lenore. There it is. I was like, I knew it began with an L, and I wanted to say Lorena, and I was like, that's not it. Not even close. She is so smart, so people smart, and her diplomacy is amazing. I love that she went in there with like disarm me with the apple, but of course she's done that before, so that doesn't really mean it's going to get her points. What really got her points in this was basically being very honest about the fact of like, our plan is Dracula's. He lied to you. We're not lying to you. We don't like you. We don't have to like each other. We're making a transaction. This is a transactional relationship. It doesn't need to be contentious, but it's not full of love. It just is what it is. And so like, you can play ball with us or not. The not option doesn't give you much to work with. And she even did a bit of humor at the very end there. So like, all the tactics that she employed to make progress with him, especially after how combative their last interaction was just very, very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we had wondered about how she was going to walk back beating the shit out of him. It's like, okay, well, you can't like be super nice to him anymore. He's not going to like fall for that. Like that's out the window.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, she switched up the tactic and she went with, okay, what is it that you want? You know, let's make a trade. I don't need you to like me. I don't need you to get you to love me. Like that was like kind of the thing before. I was like, oh, okay. Like, you know, if you really like me and you think I really like you and I'm going to take great care of you, then like you'll do this for me. No, it's like, okay, what do you want? I'm curious because Hector said like, you know, that, you know, when I make the night creatures, they work for me. So what she gives him has to be something where he needs to keep them alive in order to get it. Because, you know, once he raises that army for them, you know, if it's just his freedom he wants or whatever, or if it's just boots, you know, some shoes, then you can just kill him and take it once he has his army. So it's got to be something that he needs to see their success in order to achieve his goal as well. His goal needs to be linked to their goal. And I'm really going to be curious on how she does that.
And what I love too about how she spoke to him about all of this, particularly like that the shoes and everything was, I can't remember how I think he said like, so you're trying to bribe me? And she said, no, we're trying to pay you. Again, just emphasizing that aspect of we're not kissing your ass. We're not buttering you up. We're not giving you everything you want. We're paying you. Again, this is transactional. That level of honesty, especially after what happened last time, is going to be so refreshing to him because it's not complete bullshit.
Yeah.
She's just so brilliant. And I love the way that she got there too and talking about, she didn't come out with it right away. It was more like, so what was your plan with Dracula? What were you going for? And then she picked up on the relevant information like, oh, so you just assumed you'd be allowed to survive. Like, in other words, like, dude, you're a crap businessman. That's what I'm learning about you. You did a job and assumed you'd get something in return. You didn't like there was nothing concrete. You didn't discuss it first. You did nothing like, okay, I can work with this because you're really bad at it.
But see, that's what I think she didn't understand is that it wasn't a business transaction. It was Dracula had his respect. Again, it's something that Hector doesn't understand love because what happened to him, doesn't understand friendship, doesn't understand any sort of interaction like that outside of what, like, you know, him and his pets that he made. Like that's what he understood. But there was something about Dracula that, you know, he did respect and that he did want to help. And like, it wasn't a transaction necessarily with Dracula. Like, oh, okay, I'll do this and you'll give me like a lot of power or whatever. Or like, I'll be like, you know, able to live. Like he didn't think about that. Like Dracula just told him his plan. Yeah, he lied about it and he didn't tell him the whole plan. But Hector thought well enough of Dracula to just go along with it. And like, it didn't seem, at least from now, he didn't seem like hurt or betrayed that Dracula lied to him and like didn't tell him everything. It still didn't seem to matter to him. Like he didn't get angry at all. Let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And if you want early ad-free access, you can get up to a month or more on Patreon. In our reactions, you can get a month in our YouTube edits and even further ahead in our full watch-along reactions.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for Castlevania Season 3, Episode 4, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.